Have you guys seen the Cowboys without Dak on the field? He needs to get better really fast. Well, as you all know, he had a nasty fracture dislocation of his ankle last October. So looking at this footage from the injury, you can see on this footage here that his ankle went laterally. Do I have a model? No, but you can see it on this. So he had a lateral fracture ankle dislocation. What that means is that he broke the bones and the ankle joint dislocated in addition to the fractures. Those are nasty injuries, right? And when those injuries occur, it's not uncommon that there's an injury, there's a bunch of ligaments that are also torn, right? That's why this thing dislocates, because the ligaments kind of hold the joint together, as well as the bony anatomy. But there's also another ligament called the Syndysmosis Ligament that joins the two bones in the leg together, the fibula and the tibia. When that tears, you have a really unstable ankle. He had to have surgery for this ankle. Quite honestly, these are nasty injuries. Now, he's obviously healed, the bones are healed, but I always wonder what the biomechanics are going to be like in people who have these nasty ankle fracture dislocations, right? We can fix the bone, we can reconstruct or repair the ligaments, but as you can imagine, that ankle's never going to be the same as the other. In fact, when I operate on people's ankles, I tell them that, look, you have a much higher risk of getting arthritis because you've had this fracture by a joint. You have a much higher risk of traumatic arthritis. Now, with that same ankle injury, because it's such high energy injury, in order to tear all those ligaments and to dislocate the joint, there's cartilage in that ankle, right? Some of that cartilage was damaged. I can guarantee some of that cartilage was damaged during this. So when you have damage to cartilage in a joint, there's going to be some amount of pain. Now, this is a quarterback, right? So, and this was his planting leg, his planting foot, whatever term you want to use. If that bothers him, that could change the biomechanics of how you throw, right? Because that's where you have to push out from. There's actually an individual who is billed as a quarterback coach who talked about the current problems that he's having with his shoulder, this person was looking at his throwing mechanics, and in particular, he's talking about his internal rotation. Internal rotation is when you do this as opposed to this. Internal rotation of his torso. Now, is that something that has always been part of his throwing motion, or is that something that's happening now because of this ankle injury he had in October that may be affecting that? If it is, that might be why his shoulder is bothering him. It's hard to say because there's not much information about what exactly his shoulder injury is or what's plaguing his shoulder. But this is pure speculation. It's possible that that ankle injury is affecting how his body moves, is affecting his throwing motion, and is affecting his shoulder, right? So if you look at the footage, he looks great. In practice, he's throwing great. He's landing and pushing off his planting foot. But let's see how that moves forward in an actual game in a non-controlled setting. I wish him the best. I hope he does really well. But you always got to wonder, when you injure one body part, and that body part is essential for any kind of motion in any kind of mechanics in the body, especially in elite athletes, is that injury going to affect your overall game? It's very possible.